Welcome to the TDC Today Show USA. My name is Sue Roscoff, and we are joined today by several friends, including our TDC ambassador, Kurt Roscoff. I'm going to go ahead and bring Kurt in to say hello and open up this awesome show. Kurt, over to you.
All right, Sue, thanks for everything you do, getting the show opened up for the TDC Today Show. We got to work on a little bit longer of an introduction for me.
Oh my gosh, you're still hitting buttons, aren't you? So I can actually, before you come in then, I got you hanging in the weeds here. I have Aaron and Debbie joining us today as well, and I'm super excited to have them come on in. We had a little tease in our last episode of some stories that are coming up on this one. So before Kurt comes back on in here, why don't we bring Aaron and Debbie in? If you guys can give just a brief introduction of who you are, what you do, how we all know each other, that would be spectacular. So Aaron, I think I will start with you if you want to come on in and say hello.
Well, thank you, Sue. I appreciate it. It's an honor to be on the show. Thank you very much. My name is Aaron Outlaw. I am a CEO and founder of Stroke TV Media. I'm also 13 years post-brain aneurysm and stroke. My organization, my network, Stroke TV Media, just helps stroke survivors and brain injury survivors find life after a stroke or brain injury.
Excellent. And that is so important. Such a huge mission. I absolutely love this. We are also going to bring in Debbie Hayes to join us as well. Debbie, if you want to give an introduction for yourself here as well.
Yes, I partner with Pet Club 247. We speak for pets because they can't speak for themselves. And we also have some products for humans to modulate the immune system.
But so glad you are both here. I'm going to throw this back over to Kurt and just see what's on top of his mind before we dive in. Because like I said, I know Debbie's got some stories to share with us, and I'm excited to hear more. But Kurt, first, over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Sue. Thanks, Debbie and Aaron, for appearing with us today. The four of us carrying forward a 20-minute conversation to surely give enlightenment and sharing some resourcefulness and value out there to everybody that supports the TDC Today Show and TDC Today USA and the Disability Channel. So again, when I found the channel, I had been working with Sue on a radio show, Ability MK Now, out of Milwaukee with River West Radio. The Disability Channel has been so great to plunge right in and be a part of that radio show production and support us. And you're seeing that a little bit, seeing the radio show because we're simulcasting on vodcast, video show production through Facebook Live, LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live. It's a fun little playhouse we have here. And it's all inspired through disability advocacy and disability services. Again, the Disability Channel, founded because Jay Stoyan saw that there is a place that isn't being exercised for people with disabilities in TV production. And then when he dove into it, he found, he's got to carry the veteran community on board too, another very missed population out there. And so a lot of great work that does include Project iHeart. Project iHeart is our Legion Veteran Service Organization, serving veterans by spreading hope to veterans. And this is in response to veteran suicide. So it is, certain to say that this is very important work. And so we celebrate, work like Aaron is doing, to focus in like we have never done before on the stroke survivor community. And Aaron, we love your work in your shows and what you're doing in media. And we are looking forward to a strong future with the experiences that you provide in what you bring out to our audiences. And Debbie, with the work you do with pets, I know it's a focal item and you can go beyond pets with everything that you're doing, a lot of value that you share. And again, we culminate this all, we're able to do this conversation because of the Happy Neighborhood Project, HMP, Happy Business Networking, brought to us by Edwin out of Sacramento, California, who has a TEDx talk on, YouTube called Happiness is a Default Position. So a lot of little things to contribute to this buffet, I'm going to say, in this experience here with the TDC Today Show USA. And that's an interesting dynamic right there, because again, we're taking a Canadian production and we're kind of reaching into the United States of America to say, what is the appetite for Americans with such a thing? And being a Milwaukeean, that was my question too, before I even knew about the Disability Channel. So with the aspect of pets, we can think of animals in other capacity than just per se pet. We have our seeing eye dogs, we have our comfort animals, we have our, guide dogs, and, we have our service animals and stuff like that. So there is for certain concentrated effort to look at the disability community and the entire marketplace for what's going on with the animals and pets and the other roles that animals play in our life. And let's make sure to take care of them. We talked in our last show about a friend of ours, Marianne, who was talking to us out of a hurricane environment, and Aaron knows it's coming into his area too. And, a thought is we're always thinking of our fellow human beings, which is great. But what about those animals too? What is their experience like when we're going through these different weather patterns? So with that, Sue, I appreciate the opportunity to be a part of the conversation and to give my input here, and I'll bring it back to you, Sue. Take it away.
Thanks so much, Kurt. I'm going to ask Debbie to, I know we were talking about some stories that you could share. I want to go ahead and throw the microphone back over to you, Debbie, because I would love to hear some.
Okay, and before I start, I did stumble across a podcast on LinkedIn a few days ago, going back to what Kurt was mentioning about veterans. There is a group called Veterans for Hawaii. Their address, is veteransforhawaii@gmail.com. So if anyone is interested in being involved, obviously the name explains what they're doing, working with people from Maui to try to get some resources over there to them.
Excellent.
So just throw that out. Yeah.
Appreciate knowing that. Thank you for sharing.
Interested in that. Yes. So so about 6 years or so ago, these four fellas, all friends, were saying, wow, we all had dogs, in either personally for them or in their family, a member of their family that died within the last couple months. 65% of our pets get cancer these days. All of those dogs had died from cancer. So they had the idea to put this Coriolis versicolor mushroom, which had been successful for one of their mothers years and years ago, into pet treats. And that's what they did. And my mentor and now very good friends from the Las Vegas area had just put a post on Facebook that they were going to have to put their husky down at age 14. The dog had the paw pads were peeling, very sensitive to the touch, like 6 or 7 lumps that the size of their fist on the underbelly, and also autoimmune disease. So their friends came over to offer their condolences, but then they also said, hey, are you interested in trying mushrooms? Would you be open to that? And Gail goes, we're not that kind of people. And they said, well, they're not that kind of mushrooms either. They are not hallucinogenic. It's like putting too many mushrooms on your steak. If you take too many, it won't hurt you. So they started trying, giving these pet treats to their dog Zenta, and Zenta ended up, everything went away, all of her issues. She ended up living another 4.5 years after the vet said to put her down. Now, I will say that is the longest that for a success story, but there have been others where the dogs were recommended to be put down and live for another year and a half, another 2.5 years, because we want our dogs to live as long as they can and have great quality of life. So to be able to offer them that, and to be able to offer the unconditional love that they show to us for a longer period of time, of course, is a plus. Whether it's a year and a half, whether it's miraculously 4.5 years. And she did have a good quality of life during that time. So, Erin, you were asking about the people products, the human products. Well, Gail, Zenta's mother, had been diagnosed over the years with 5 different autoimmune diseases. And so they're thinking, wow, if our dog is having a great success with the getting rid of the autoimmune disease, what about people? And they petitioned the company to do the pills the same as the mother of that one of the founders had been offered years ago. So they went back to their contact in Japan and got the proprietary rights. They do grow it actually in California, but it has to be in an enclosed environment because it has to replicate the environment of where they're grown in the Far East. And it has been used in the Far East, Coriolis versicolor mushrooms, for thousands of years, literally. I mean, animals obviously would find it in the wild. People found it in the wild and eventually realized that it helped. So Gail is now, after 4 years, on no more medication for those 5 autoimmune diseases. So it's not just cancer that it has helped. It's helped a variety of different things. I call it for humans, jack of all trades in a bottle, because we're always willing to have anybody try it. And it searches out the issue, the medical issue that is the most severe. And so it will address that first internally. Like the guy that I was just talking about, that obviously his biggest concern was his throat cancer. But in that 3-week time, he also got rid of a hernia and a lump that he had on his leg. So he was taking a large amount, but who cares? It's better than having chemo, etc.
It's amazing what the body can do when it has the right things that it's needed to be able to fix what's happening. I mean, I'm love hearing these success stories because it's miracles that are happening, and it is so intriguing to me how this can happen and that it is happening out there. So I love it. So, and Erin, have you ever heard of anything like this before, or is this totally new to you?
Well, I'm kind of curious. I've just sent Debbie a connect with me a link because I want to talk to her personally.
And there is. I did put my website in the chat.
Okay.
Excellent. So yeah, it's Deb.
But I'll respond to your link also.
Yeah, please do. I do have a course that's kind of topics, and I've been kind of curious. When was TDC established? When did you guys start? When did Jay Stolen start TDC?
Ooh, that's a question I'm going to pass to Kurt.
It was around 2010 he got going on this while he was working with another corporate TV enterprise. He was building up a social media following about creating access. And then Ontario has been working with the Disability Channel for about 10 years. So it was about 2013 that Ontario started to fund the educational program, which teaches adult Ontarians with disabilities the workings of TV, and then it's grown into cross-training into radio and podcasting and desktop publishing, and these days with Canva and all sorts of stuff, public speaking, a pretty intensive program now through a private-public partnership with Ontario for over a decade.
Can we Californians participate in that too? Is it open to us as Californians or just Canadians?
Yeah, on a commercial basis at this point. So basically, the type of payments that the Ontarian government makes to the channel to provide this, that's what somebody would have to private pay at this point, or have the funds to pay the channel to do it. So that's a little bit of what we're working on, is if we could get some charities and government agencies involved to have it funded for that financial barrier that would be there for quite a share of Americans with disabilities, leaving it unattainable to get this education. So that's kind of the process we're doing here with these TDC Today Show USA, to speak to Americans to say, what are we going to do to fill this gap here in the United States of America?
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
They've got a good thing going with the programming in Canada, and I would love to see that brought here to the States. And I know there's some hurdles to go through to be able to make that happen here, and it's a work in progress. I'm going to just bring it back to both of you to find out. Well, actually, I see Marianne did come back in as well. I'm not sure, Marianne, are you there? I know you're in the middle of a hurricane right now, which is amazing that you're able to join us in the middle of a hurricane. But I just want to see if you're there, if you would like to share anything with us while you're on, because I know you've had some connection issues, which I'm absolutely impressed you're here.
No, thank you for letting me be here. Yeah, it's the rain is starting to pick up here in the marina, and it's extremely loud, but people are celebrating a bridal party and everything down here. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, well, it's a hurricane. Well, they had plans, we don't work around a hurricane, however, but you got to be cautious. And anyway, the Acts of Kindness series book, the website is up, actsofkindnessseries.com. Thank you, Subaru Hawaii, who is supporting Donors Choose. So again, the Hawaii teachers can request the Acts of Kindness books, the coloring books, and post it, and check out Subaru Hawaii, what they're doing, so we can make this go across America to the other schools to get the Acts of Kindness series books. I've been posting on LinkedIn to follow up with those teachers and creating flyers. And I have been in communication, and we have a new press release. We're applying for Awesome Foundation grants, 2 language characters and the puppets. One for disabilities. It's a specialty off of Awesome Foundation, which is an extra bonus that I found out about, that she found out about. So we can actually get possibly $2,000 to write this series of the books featuring Waterflow the Whale for the Love of Water, which is Leon McLaughlin, and he's doing amazing work. Last show and this last week, he's got connections to get filters to Maui. It's just, prayers heartfelt out to Maui. And we want to get books over to the schools over there. And again, it's so easy. Subaru Hawaii is helping Hawaii classroom teachers to get the Acts of Kindness series books. So we can multiply that Acts of Kindness throughout the 50 states. And there's 3,000 schools, 3,000 deafblind schools, 30,000 USA schools that can request the books, and it's back to school. So I am posting on LinkedIn. I have limited internet. We came down here to the hotel restaurant marina bar here to get air conditioning. And so we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. And I did contact my deaf friend Scott. He's in San Diego. This hurricane is going to be, Hillary is going to be heading up to California. She's out swinging outside Cabo. So prayers for everybody. And again, think twice, make sure you have provisions, extra food, batteries, lights, communication, backup batteries. And, I was talking about a ditch bag with my girlfriend last night, being in Hawaii and seeing what unfortunate happened in Hawaii is, it's a learning lesson. It's a wake up call. And that's Mother Nature. And this is, with climate change, and it's the result because of pollution. Pollution is really the culprit. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, while I was listening to him, he was talking about that too with climate change. So again, we all got to do our part to look around on the ground, pick up 10 pieces of plastic, put our, garbage away so that we do have, water flowing through. And, one of these windstorms come through, and guess what? Things get backed up, and guess what? Disease, sickness, and, unfortunate things can happen. So we appreciate Leon being a guest speaker here and doing what he's doing. And Aaron, we want to be on your show. We're working on the website again, Suzanne Sims and I, to write this climate change book. So August is back to school. And got to be cool. So get your Acts of Kindness book series, everybody. How cool will that be when you get to read the stories and sign language and puppets? And so thank you so much for having us here. I'll try and join you a little bit later, but we're a little bit under the air quality pressure here is affecting my neighbor and my health. And so we're staying in air conditioning, and we'll probably be heading back. So it's been crazy of the heat wave. It's a different kind of a challenge out here, but the heat index it's been 96, and the heat index is like 116. Feels like you just walk out and you're like, oh my God. So it's a learning lesson. So and so again, thank you, Liam McLaughlin, for all your support that you're doing. And Aaron, we want to be on your show. And back to you guys. So Captain Mary is in Alaska. She's got limited connection. And thank you, Leanne, last week. So the Sound Bowl, Crystal Healings, great, amazing shows every week to bring people onto these podcasts. So thank you so much. Back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marianne. It's always fun to find out what kind of adventures you're in the middle of. You literally are across the water, across the globe here, and hearing all the fun stories and adventures. I hope this one stays safe. Hurricane is a little bit of a different adventure, but still all water related, isn't it? So we're thrilled to have you here. And I know,
I just want to share too. It's not a matter about the eye of the storm hitting. People don't understand, oh, it passed us by, or we shouldn't prepare. It's the fires. It's the lack of electricity that can go out. It's the disease state that can happen in the water. People just don't think about it when they go, oh, let's blame the weather people for this, and we didn't get hit. It's not a matter of that. People don't understand. It's the week or 2 weeks after that really, really happened. And you got to really, really be prepared. And, the strong winds too. So, just always be cautious. So thank you so much, Aaron. Look forward to seeing you on your podcast in the future. So thank you so much again for having us here, and aloha and adios, amigos and amigas.
Aloha.
Bye, Marianne.
I love it. Well, and as we wrap this episode up here, I just want to give a chance. Do you guys have just maybe a 30-second take-home message, whether it's even just your website, or if you have a thought on the top of your mind, whatever you'd like to share before we wrap this one up? So Debbie, I'm going to pass over to you first.
Okay, thank you. I just appreciate you letting me come on. Love to talk about what's going on and what latest success stories we have. My website is https://deb.petclub247.com. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Debbie. And Aaron, same to you. What is your closing thoughts for us today?
I'm just, because, it's not about me. It's about everybody else. I believe, Sue, everybody in the world has a gift. And the gift is to serve mankind. And TDC, along with others, here to serve. And I wanted to just search your gift. If you want to come on the show, come on the show. Love to have you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Aaron. And actually, I'm going to have Kurt with the final thought of the day.
Oh boy, I got to come up with a little impromptu here. So final thought of the day by Special K. I'm here to brighten up your day. So let's get underway. So let's make it a happy day. And then again, if you want to visit the Happy Neighborhood Project, they have a short link to their homepage, which is hmpabc.com, and that'll forward right to their homepage, happyneighborhoodproject.com. Again, search for Edwin's TEDx Talk. Happiness is a default position on YouTube. You'll enjoy that, and I'll give you a lot of idea of what's been inspired as I got introduced to it exactly 3 years ago, and had the experience of being a mentor and a captain with the community, and remain an ambassador co-host with Sue and our assistant Emily, and we're there with Carol and Tom. We do that Tuesdays at 2 Eastern. And so everybody's welcome to join that. Plus, there's over 40 other options at the Happy Neighborhood Project for happy business networking and lunch and learn and a recruiters network format, and just a lot of things that have been part of a cooperative collaboration from a co-host community of over 140 co-hosts. So again, the great work here. I was sharing it with someone in a one-to-one format earlier, someone introduced through Steve Ramona, who is a captain at the Happy Neighborhood Project and also does a lot of wonderful podcasting, achieving a lot and building up a big audience and getting with those of celebrity status. And so we're collaborating with him in the upcoming week. On Tuesday, we're going to be meeting with Steve Ramona. And so he's helping us out. He's introducing us to some very qualified and capable professionals. And just got a message on LinkedIn that the person I met with, she tells me that I've changed her in a very nice way. So there's something, we made an internal connection, a heart to heart. What wells in our bellies, we could sense it with each other. And we shared some mindset where we were able to connect how we're in similar thinking, and we added to each other's thoughts. This dialoguing is really what I'm inspired to provoke, to give everyone out there an opportunity, as I was able to a decade ago, when I was at a spot where I saw a community member with cerebral palsy, a power wheelchair user, potentially to be introduced to water skiing. Introduced them, got very interested, came to an annual clinic that we went as a guest, and then he joined our club first as a DJ, and just to be a social member, otherwise a non-skiing member. And then he converted himself to a skiing member and skied in a lot of our shows. Sue had skied with him a lot while he skied on the sit ski. Sue was on her show ski planks for skiing, and so a lot of wonderful memories. But these memories inspire the future, inspire where we're going. And I'm excited for the role that the Disability Channel is playing in the future of the world, because when we revolutionize the media industry to create that equitable spot for people with disabilities, it will be like a lightning storm. It'll be electric, and it's going to be empowering. I tout the disability community as the masters of ability. And with that, we're showcasing abilities of the masters right here at the Disability Channel. And with that, we look forward to having you on our next show.